can be different at whatever level you're refereeing on. Say like
Okay.
for kids 5 and 6 years old, they don't know what they're doing.
Right.
They'll tackle somebody from behind. Then you got to call a foul. Then you go up to high school, and then college, pro-am, and the higher you go, the less happens by accident.
Okay.
People know what they're doing. We just catch them.
Okay.
And govern it accordingly.
Okay.
And the game administration piece, because once I was always taught, and I taught other people, that when you blow your whistle, be able to explain what you blew, why you blew it. You're going to say, okay, what happened and what's going to happen next. Because anybody can call a foul. But now, what happens next? The game administration piece, that is the biggest piece for for every official. The guys at advanced upward in officiating, they know game administration.
Game administration. Okay.
Yeah, game administration. Like and some people just think, well, that was a foul. No, it wasn't. And when a coach, sometimes I was taught, and it helped me a lot, was, ref, can I talk to you? Yeah, do you want to discuss a rule or judgment?
Break that down to us a little bit, Cliff. A rule or a judgment?
Well, a rule is in the book.
Okay.
And if they say, I want to talk to you about a rule, and they tell me, let's say, for instance, it's illegal screen. I'll say, what's your interpretation of the rule? They don't know. They just want to vent.
Right.
And I'm not going to take time away from the game and the kids to explain to us. I say, Coach, let's do this. Let's talk at halftime or after the game. I'll be more than happy to talk with you. But most of the time, coach just want to know you're listening to them. But if they say, I want to talk about judgment, conversation's over, because that's a rule. And if they want to say, if they tell me, I want to talk about your judgment, coach, there's nothing to talk about.
Right.
Put the ball in play, keep going.
Right.
And it was interesting what you said before about a disrespectful players that's right, the officials.
Right.
I got to the point where I would not even give a technical foul. Because a technical foul means they still in the game. But if I throw them out, they can't finish that game, nor can they play the next game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would ask the coach sometimes if the situation warranted, Coach, you want to take care of this? And sometimes the coach would co-sign for the player. He's gone too. So if there's some real issues, I'm getting rid of my problems. It's not fair to everybody else in the game.
Right. Right.
And you think I'm gonna take time just to have you berate me and disrespect? No. You can take that to the locker room with you.
Right. And Cliff, I'm gonna ask you, and then I'm gonna come to Lionel. Most coaches, and then it trickles down to the athletes also. They really feel like when you put that your stripes on, that you care who wins.
Yeah.
Like, can you break like you're not one that's betting on the game. You're like you have no bias.
Nothing's a game.
Right. So can you explain that? Because I think a lot of athletes, man, they cheating, or a lot of coach, man, but can you break that down? Like as you said, you have nothing to gain from either team.
Well, when I hear somebody say you cheating, the first thing in my mind is they don't know the rules.
Okay.
They don't know the rules. I give them some benefit of the doubt. But if they say, if I hear it too much, I'll walk up to the player again and I'll say, would you repeat what you just said? Now, if he recognizes I'm giving him another shot, he'll shut up. But if he doesn't, he's gone.
Right.
You don't accuse me of cheating. I'm out here with my integrity,
Yeah.
my time, and they don't pay me to take the garbage off of you. Who you think you are? You know, a
Right.
lot of times the the best player is the biggest butthole.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because they think they're supposed to be getting some all the time. No, no, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
You got to be a good person
Yeah.
and a good player.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, so you don't got nothing coming just because you can play basketball.
Yeah.
And that's in life. You mean
Yeah.
in college and on your job, the best person sometimes gets the nod over the person who is more qualified because that person will negatively affect everybody else, and we don't want that in the game.
That's good.
But you know, you live and you learn, and just like with refereeing, players and coaches, it all starts at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the parents who are the worst fans, oh my God. I had a lady come up behind me on the baseline and scream in the back of me, call the damn foul. I said, whoa. So I blew my whistle. I stopped the game. And first thing I'm thinking, she could have come behind me and cold cocked me, you
Whole
know?
cocked you. Yep.
Yeah. So I stopped the game and I told the AD, I said, man, she got to go. And she said, well, I paid my $5. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You didn't
Right.
give it to me. But the AD said, well, Cliff, you know, and he was a frat brother. He said, look, Cliff, can she stay if she don't say nothing else? I said, sure. I said, and it goes to everybody else on this side. Do you know that was the quietest side the rest of the game? Because I wasn't going to have them disrespect me or potentially harm us, me
Yep.
or my partners,
Yep.
you know? And like you said, when you put that shirt on, most people think you're a punk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Said, don't let your shirt fool you now.
Mm-hmm.
This shirt comes off,
Right. Right.
you know. But you, but and I had to say this at a pro am game one time. They said, "Man, you make a call like that again, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." And I said loud so everybody in the gym could hear it. I said, "Look, man, ain't nobody in this gym gonna take a butt whooping." And all the
Right.
players, went, yep, 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 yep. You know, and that was a general statement for everybody. Ain't nobody gonna take you may whoop me, but I'm not gonna take it.
I ain't gonna take it. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but
And that's a great point because even from a mindset perspective, even with athletes, like y'all may win, but I just ain't gonna give it to you. You know, I
right,
mean, you have to have a certain mindset. Lionel, I want to come to you now because you know you from Chicago, from Illinois. You're now in Atlanta. And it's different styles of basketball. You know what I'm saying? You know, Chicago, we go into the hole because it's windy outside. We had to, you know, me and this guy and some of our other friends, we would literally take shovels to the park and shovel the snow out the way so that we can play. And we had on gloves, so we know we can't shoot. So it's just we got to get to the bucket. And so it's different levels of play, but it's generally some of the same eras. What would you say, Lionel, and your experience? You know, you've been here to the Big Dipper watching officials, learning, lifelong learner. You know, you do the high school levels, the college levels. What's the biggest error that you see most basketball players have on a basketball court now? Like what's that biggest thing that's missing that hinders their performance?
Well, right now they only play at two levels. Everybody's missing the mid range. Nobody can knock down that mid range jumper right now. The game is we're gonna either shoot a three or we're going to the basket. The mid range jump shot is slowly going away. It's almost extinct. You know, you got KD and you know some NBA players that are knocking down mid range jump shots, but it's it's either to the bucket or 3-point shot. So that's really what's missing at this point in time, in my opinion.
Okay. What's been the biggest difference that you've seen in your 47 years? What's the biggest disconnect in basketball? Like as you're real time officiating, you know, you talked about that mid range, but what do you think is the biggest thing that's missing? If athletes could tap into it, they could easily separate themselves.
Well, right now, if they could tap into playing more of a team, and it kind of goes into your earlier session, if they could tap more into a team ball concept, because people want people that are going to win and understand the role and understand it's more than just getting buckets. It's about your presence on the court, your presence when you go, even as an official. When most things that people don't know as an official, we watch the pregame, we do our scouting report, we know who's the butthole on the court. You can tell when they're warming up. Our pregame is we talk about who is going to be the problem child today.
Okay, slow down.
Okay.
No. And that's great. A lot of people don't understand that. And Cliff laughing because Cliff understands. And hold on, I'm about to bring, I think Coach Shannon is back too, right? But I want you to slow down on that because what you're saying is that y'all having pregame sessions too. So talk about that because a lot of athletes don't understand that, like you say, y'all know who the butthole is, talk about that because that's a huge part because as I said to Cliff, y'all not just putting your uniform on and y'all bias, but y'all also have to, if y'all are professionals, and that's what Cliff's saying. I just ain't nobody gonna just take nothing. I'm a professional. Talk about that, and Cliff talked about, and I wrote it down and I'm taking notes, game administration. That's kind of part of that game administration. So talk about that, Lionel.
Yeah, when you're talking about a collegiate game, we're at the game an hour and a half before the start of the game. And so at that time, we're doing our pregame. Our pregame consists of talking about the table. Who works the table? Are they good at the clock? Are we going to have to worry about the clock? Can they manage the shot clock? We talk about the coaches. Does this coach know the rules? So is this a coach that's constantly yelling and screaming? Or is this the coach that he never says anything? So when he does say something to you, you might want to pay attention. We talk about the players. We know who the leading scorers on the team are, who can produce and who cannot produce. We know who the buttholes are. Like Cliff mentioned earlier. You know, like Cliff mentioned, if it's a butthole on the team and he's constantly ragging us, 2 fouls, he got to sit down.
Yeah.
Coach gonna sit him down after 2 fouls. And if he doesn't learn a lesson, when he come back in, he can get some more. But our job is to keep the game going and to, what people don't realize about officials, we're supposed to be consistent. Yeah. If you have an official crew that's not calling anything, they're consistent. If they calling everything, they are consistent. Yeah. And it is the players and the coach's job to learn how to work within those parameters of what's going to happen tonight, because every game is going to be different.
Yeah. So the coaches and players have to kind of adjust to the officials. Y'all as officials not adjusting to the players and the coaches.
Well, we can't. So there's a couple of different levels to that. So we can adjust if we know, if we've done a scouting report and we've done our pregame and these are athletic teams and they can play through some things, then we're gonna let them play through. We're gonna let them play through some things within the parameters of the rules.
Yeah.
However, we're talking about grown men. It's only so much contact that somebody's going to be able to deal with without a whistle blowing, or we're going to have something escalate. And so our job is to monitor that, allow them to play through what they can play through. But if the beginning of the game we realize, they can't play through that, or this is going to be a foul fest, we need to start blowing whistles to get people off each other. We have to take control of the game. We have to stay above the game at all times.
I love that. Stay now. When you say stay above the game at all times, what does that mean?
We're going to be the best team on the court.
Ooh, I love that.